What's up guys, Joe here, welcome back to my channel, and today we are back with the Tour de France 2020 here on Pro Cycling Manager, and I am so looking forward to this year's edition. We have a wide open edition as well, with so many of the main contenders seemingly struggling with an injury or form somehow. So really, I don't think anyone knows what's going to happen at this year's race. We've had to wait a little while due to the global pandemic. However, the Tour de France is finally here, and I will be playing every stage on my channel. And quickly guys, if you want to hear me talk in more detail about the real life race that is taking place, go and check out my brand new podcast. It's on YouTube, but it's also on Spotify. Go and follow it on Spotify if you're interested, because I'm going to be looking at every stage as the race unfolds. However, back to the PCM edition, and we have one of the most exciting routes in recent memory. We have so much climbing. We have the Col de Torini on the second stage. We have so much climbing throughout this year's race, and it really is going to be so fun. However, the race does start in Nice, and that's where we'll be starting in today's stage. As always, then we do have the real life start list here on PCM, so I'm going to run through it very quickly. I've sorted it as the game evaluates the teams. We have Alaphilippe leading Quickstep with Sam Bennett as well. Some very strong riders there. No Stibar, he had to withdraw and he was replaced by Cavagna, but we also have Jumbo-Visma, who do feature the big pre-race favourite, probably, in my opinion, Primoz Roglic. Also Dumoulin, Wout van Aert as well, Sepp Kuss, what a team for them. We also have Bora Hansgrohe with Sagan, Schachmann and Buchmann, who really for me is an underrated contender in the GC. We have Lotto, who will be hunting stages. We have the Ineos Grenadiers with that new jersey. No Thomas, no Froome. They have Bernal, Carapaz and Pavel Sivakov in the GC. Trek bring a mixed team with no real elite climbers or sprinters, but they have Stuyven, Mollema, Pedersen and the like. We have Tadej Pogacar leading UAE Team Emirates. We have the big home favourite Thibaut Pinot. Is this finally going to be his year? We will see. We have Mikel Landa, who for the first time I can remember goes into a Grand Tour with the sole leadership of his team, and a very strong team as well at Bahrain. We have CCC with GVA and Trentin. We have EF with Bettiol, Iran, and the Dauphiné winner Daniel Felipe Martinez. AG2R bring Narsen and Bardet. Bardet, of course, is leaving towards Team Sunweb at the end of this season. Israel are here with Pollitt and Dan Martin. Another favourite for the GC, definitely in the shape of Miguel Angel Lopez. And a great team in general for Astana. They have Lutsenko, the Izagirre brothers, Tejada as well, very strong climber indeed. We have Movistar, who really are struggling. No real GC threats, to be honest. I don't think Valverde or Mas really are going to challenge in the GC. We have NTT, who have the new European champion in Giacomo Nizzolo. What a season this man is having, and I think he can win the green jersey at this year's Tour. Hopefully, he can also pick up his first win in a Grand Tour. Almost at the end then, we have Cofidis, who have Guillaume Martin riding so well at the moment with Elia Viviani as well. Adam Yates, who will be hunting stages for Mitchelton Scott. Sunweb, no Michael Matthews, which is a massive surprise to me. We have Benoot, Kra Anderson and Mark Hershey. Three very good riders right there. RKS Samsic, led of course by Nairoman Quintana. Can he challenge for his first Tour de France? We will see. We then have Total Direct Energy and B&B Vital Concept rounding out the teams. So you guys have voted. I of course did leave a vote on my channel, and you guys have chosen EF Pro Cycling, and we have a very interesting team for this year's Tour. We have, of course, Dauphiné winner Martinez riding so well, just 24 years old. We also have Higuita, who probably isn't a GC rider in my opinion, but definitely the like who could challenge for the KOM jersey and stage wins as well. We then have Rigoberto Urán, now 33 years old, and he's not quite riding at the same level as Martinez currently in real life post-lockdown, so will be interesting to see how EF play it in the GC. Are they going to go for stages? Is Martinez the leader? Is Urán the leader? all to be seen. We also have TVG, legend on the channel, of course. We have Hugh Carthy, Paulus Kukalair, and Alberto Bettiol, who performed very well in Strada Bianca just a few weeks ago. Stage 1 of this year's Tour de France then is in and around Nice, and we do have a few climbs and they are fairly steep, so we could see a few of the really weaker sprinters out the back. However, expected to be a mass sprint today, so let's see what we can do with our squads. So the 2020 Tour de France gets underway here in Nice, and we don't have the best race day conditions as we have some early attacks. I do want to go in that breakaway as well today. If Paulus could get to the front, that would be perfect because he is the man I want to try and put in today's break, but it seems too late already. I was hoping we could get Paulus up the road to challenge for the KOM today. Doesn't seem that's going to be possible. I will attack with him again up the roads. Lyngen takes the first points of this Tour de France in the polka dot jersey. And finally now Paulus is allowed off the front of the peloton. Oh no, an early fall at this year's race, and Benoit Cosnefroid is withdrawing already. We have Van Baal, Richie Ports, Mohoric as well. We have a few more falls, Ella Sond and Tony Martin. Plenty of falls taking place right here. A day. We have Schachmann, Latour in this group as well. What is going on with Stefan Kung as well in this group? Mühlberger and Schachmann getting underway again. Okay then, 3k to go to the next KOM sprint. If we win both of them, we can maybe go into the jersey with Paulus. That is his goal today. So we now have 1.7k to go, and it does seem that Lyngen opens it up. Of course, he did win the first time around, so I will jump into his wheel. We'll try and come past him right now, about 800 meters left. Maybe I've gone slightly early here to the right-hand side of the roads with Paulus, and we come second. Very disappointing. Only 1 point there. I think I did go too early. So the peloton now on this descent for the second time. Let's see if they can all stay on their bikes. And the answer to that is a simple no, because Marcato has gone down here. So we are now approaching this intermediate sprint, and I've jumped into Sam Bennett's wheel with Alberto Bettiol. I think he could be our man for that green jersey over Kukalair. Can we stay here? We'll follow Van Aert instead. Paulus is approaching that sprint, so I'll just go with him early, try and take those points. But can Bettiol stay in a good position here? Following Van Aert right now. Can we jump to Sagan's wheel? Let's just sprint a little early here with Bettiol. Try and come around these guys. Try and find some room. Desperately looking for some room. No room at all though for Alberto Bettiol. And I think we might have got a single point right there. But Paulus up the roads did take the win. So we come onto this climb for the final time right now, and the pace really isn't too high. So Bettiol is going to come to the front of the peloton, and you know what? We're going to do it. Bettiol on the attack here on stage 1 of the Tour de France, and we are now going to try and bridge to the breakaway and Nielsen Paulus up the roads. So Bettiol flying up this hill, but the peloton have up the tempo, and we have Max Schachmann on the front. This is all good for us because we don't have a pure sprinter at this race. Paulus now needs to go for the KOM as well. Sadly, Bettiol has now been caught, so let's try a little attack away from the peloton again. We're not going to get away. Can Paulus maybe take these points? Doesn't seem so right now. Can we maybe take them in the final? And I think we did. 3 points for Paulus as Bettiol and Schachmann have bridged away from the peloton. So Nielsen Paulus can now sit up. Bettiol is dragging Schachmann up the road with him. That is a very dangerous rider to bring up the road. He's not working with Alberto Bettiol, but we are now forcing the sprinters teams to really do the work. Tim de Klerk giving himself up, of course, to try and bring in this move. But look at Bettiol, he is so strong. If we can get to Paulus, and I think we are going to right here, we can now pace with Nielsen Paulus. Bettiol can sit in the wheels, and this is now perfect. Paulus can pace at 85, but the peloton are going to bring in this move. So sadly, that hasn't worked out at all for us. Hopefully some of the sprinters can get dropped. So I will continue pacing with Nielsen Paulus. So I've been pacing pretty hard on that uphill section. And again, we have a split in the peloton. Is it going to stay there this time? And we have also seen a fair few riders out the back now with the tempo I have set. Okay, it is now all back together. Paulus can get the water. All our riders are still in this group. And if we take a look at the peloton, it really is very stretched out, and the pace is even dropping some riders on the flat section right here. So the likes of Brian Coquard out the back on stage 1, Piero Lons out the back as well. That is a massive surprise. Loads of the Vital Concept riders are struggling, and at the front right here, it is Bob Youngles currently on the front as Paulus can just sit up. So further riders, Greipel struggling, Reichenbach struggling, Christophe Laporte. We have Dan Martin in this group as well. Niels Pollitt is out the back. So many riders just cannot deal with this tempo. And I can see here that even the likes of Richard Carapaz struggling with the tempo set on this flat section. So TJ is going to come to the front, make sure our sprint train, Kukalair, Higita and Bessiol will be our sprinter today. We don't really have an out-and-out sprinter, so Bessiol's going to give it a go and go for a top 10. I think that will be a great result, whilst Martinez, Aran and Carthy can just stay in this group. I need to use all the gels as TJ now up to 99. We are right on the front of this group. We're in a pretty perfect position, it must be said. TJ opening this up. Can we maybe drop a few more riders as Kukalair up to 99 as well? These guys can pace on 93 because we need to stay with our guys. Higita opening up the sprint for Alberto Bessiol, going for the stage 1 of the Tour de France. Bessiol versus the rest, but it's gonna be Caleb Ewan just ahead of Sam Bennett. Nizzolo was close in 3rd place. Higita with a fantastic lead out, and it's massive mess behind with plenty of gaps right here. And despite just 3 points on the day, Nielsen Paulus wears the polka dot jersey for stage 2. There we go then, guys. What a start to this Tour de France. We gave it a go. Bessiol in 6th place in the end. Not too bad a result considering his sprint stat when you look at the likes of Stuyven and Trentin that we beat. Van Aert, Sagan, Nizzolo, and of course Bennett and Ewan. They're really in a different league to Bessiol, so we need to try and pick up some green jersey points here and there, and hopefully we can challenge for that jersey in the end. And you probably have already noticed we do have some splits on this flatter section. Christoph and Kung 19 seconds behind. Luckily, no one really in the GC battle gaining time, so that really doesn't matter too much, but plenty of riders were literally dropped on that flatter section. I paced up this hill right here, and then really Quickstep and CCC took up the tempo on the front. And you can see we have some climbers like Dan Martin that have been dropped today. However, looking ahead to stage 2 of the race, we have a massive stage already at this tour. We have the Col de la Colmiane, followed by the Col de Torini, 2 massive first cat climbs here on stage 2. We then have some shorter hills into Nice yet again, but depending how this is ridden, we could have a big day in the GC. So hope you guys are looking forward to that. Drop a like on this video if you enjoyed it today. Tell me what you thought in the comments below. I will see you guys in the next one.